And so my grandmother had passed away, and we were leaving back to Ohio, and Omar knew, and he couldn't, like, he was like, no, you can't leave. Like, marry me Saturday. Like, that's where my husband was. And I was sharing with Belle, and she's like, Mom, this sounds like a movie. And I'm like, well, it sounds like something I'm reading in the Bible right now. But my dad asked me, he's like, do you love him? Are you sure you want to get married? And I remember saying, yes, I want to marry him. You know, I understand, like, I understood the timing was like probably way sooner than I had ever imagined in my mind, or my parents had imagined for me. But I also recognized something beautiful in him, that he was a man after God's heart. And I had observed him praying and at the altar and with his family and engaging with people. And there was just like this something different that I remember captivated me. And the way that he loved me, like, he just loved me so, like, he just made me feel like I was the most, like God sent person that God had sent it to him in his life. And so I ended up leaving with my parents for those till June 22nd for 6.5 months, and then coming back to get married. But we're in the process of preparing everything and the wedding, and I just came back.
Remember.
And we just came back, and I finished school, came back, and then we got married. And I'm sharing with Bella, and she just loves it. But I'm like, it's because it really is the hand of the Lord. I really do believe the Lord ordains the steps of the righteous, of those that seek His guidance. Because even in those 6 months that I was in Ohio and Omar was over here, we were still praying. And although we were planning, we were still praying. And I was like, Lord, let me do your will. I don't want anything that is not from you. And even though I was so young, I was still very on alert and listening. And I remember having a conversation with his older sister, who was also the pastor's wife, right before I even agreed to tell Omar yes. And she was like, I know my brother, and he will love you well, and he will take care of you. And so as I read the story of Rebecca and I see it, that she says, I will go, I'm reminded of that night where Dad calls me into his room with Mom and him. And Dad, like, he wasn't ever really talking too much to us about things like that, right? Love and future and things like that. And he's like, are you sure you want to get married? And I'm like, Rebecca, like, yes, I do. I want to marry him. Again, recognizing that there you guys went back to Ohio. My whole family went back to Ohio, and here I stayed with Omar. And it wasn't like the times of FaceTime right now, or Messenger, where we could call each other and just be on the phone all day. It was collect calls and then get charged for it later. And there wasn't cell phones. It was in 2002. It was barely starting. The internet was, at least we had the internet, but we weren't